Hello and welcome to Samara and Dara ASMR. Today I want to be talking about calling your power back to you. Yes, reclaiming your energetic boundaries. I want to be crystal, scratching and tapping and rattle shaking because we are going to be chasing away any type of negative energies, lower vibrational energies, energy vampires, toxic people, or just purifying your environment, as well as I wanted to address energetic cords and how they can affect your physical vessel, your body, and how they can creep in energetically. And we're going to talk about that process, and we're going to talk about the evil eye. And I have lots of good things in store. So right now I am burning it's a diverse blend of Yerba Santa, as well as some sage, cloves, and there's one more herb that I just put in here at the very end. And it significantly breaks lemon verbena. It breaks hexes, jinxes, curses, spells cast against you, because this is very real. People will use chaos or chaos magic to project onto you, whether it's with candles or whether it's with a thought form of energy or with the evil eye. And I don't want this to sound like such a spooky session, but we need to address the truth, okay? So and this happens to so many of us, and nobody ever really says anything. And because when people fight, they do it very underhandedly, especially those shady snakes in the grass. They like to target you and manipulate you and project their negative energy and their pain onto you, or hold on to something maybe that they didn't like that you did years ago, but you've grown and evolved and they still can't let that go. So then they keep this false narrative in their minds, and they kind of suck your energy and then project these negative thoughts and give you the evil eye. And this is what this is for. So I've got the Herba Santa and the sage to flush out any toxins, any type of those negative archonic, the influence, negative intrusions, energetic intrusions, as well as their projections, because it will happen in the workplace, it happens in families, it happens in friend circles, it happens in different settings, because of one person's insecurity, because of somebody bumps heads with you, someone just doesn't like you, someone's pain, and they don't know how to heal, so they project all of this negative energy. And so we need to protect our energetic boundaries. The cloves protect, the Herba Santa and the white sage cleanse and purify negative energies out of the environment and the atmosphere, and the lemon verbena returns it to the sender. Because sometimes pulling cords, and I love to cord cut, which I'm going to do now. Sometimes you can pull all the cords you want, but sometimes you gotta kind of set it back, send it back, to kind of give them a taste of their own medicine so they stop hurting you. And a lot of the times with cord cutting, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very frank, when you cord cut, it makes energy vampires come at you harder. It makes them come around you more. This is from experience. It makes them try you harder, test your energetic boundaries harder. They feel that cut that you're doing. They feel that you're cutting them off energetically, and they need that godlight. They need that string of energy attached to them so they can suck your joy and your happiness. So you don't have room to work from your chi life force energy and implicate joy out into your creations and your inner flow of creativity, which comes from the sacral chakra as well as the solar plexus chakra and the root. Because the sacral chakra is about creation. The solar plexus, we need our power. We need our self-confidence and our accomplishments, so we can, what we want to accomplish, so we can put that out into the world and create, like how I create these videos, or how, you know, some may play piano or guitar, or some may create art, create music, um, you know, because we're doing good for the mankind. And my intention is to cut cords, but to also make you energetically and mentally aware of, okay, this person may not have the best intentions for you. And I also want to address targeted individuals and how they do this, okay? So people will target you because of something that they see that you have that they lack, and they're jealous, or they're just a hateful person, or they're just vindictive because of their pain. And I just want to tap this because cinnamon brings sweetness back into your life. So some ASMR tapping, and we're going to do some more cord cutting. But they will go into these groups, okay, of these archonic influences, and they'll try to get other individuals and other groups to see you as their false narrative, and try to paint you out to be someone you're completely not. So it will be very intrusive, and it will be very projective. So they will project all of this negative energy onto your person. So they will do this to your reputation, so you no longer have a reputable reputation. They will test your energetic boundaries. So let's talk about boundaries and energy and how we can set them. So you can carry all the protective crystals around that you want. You could carry, you know, black tourmaline. You can carry your smoky quartz. You know, you could, I know a lot of practitioners put it in their bras and things like that. But if you don't physically, here's the smoky quartz I was looking for. If you don't physically cut those energetic cords, and if you don't physically distance yourself from these negative people, it's going to keep happening. So like, yes, when you cut the cords and you pull out these ties, and so right now I'm pulling out their projections on you, they're going to feel this, and they're going to feel that you are gaining your power back, and that you're lessening their energy pull on you, and they're going to see this as a threat, okay? Especially highly flawed individuals, like people who are just, they hold on to a lot of pain, they don't know how to channel that energy into something creative, or into a hobby, or something, you know, that they can create from and like flourish. So they want to bring you down, and maybe they don't know how to do that, but that is neither here nor there. All I know is that if you protect your energetic boundaries and you ignore them, sometimes this is not enough. So we're going to declare to the universe, okay? And also, this is very potent. And as I light this, I want you to visualize. First, I want you to call your energy back to you and your power. So first, we're going to say a little incantation. I call all of my energy and my power back to me. My energetic boundaries are no longer allowed to be siphoned. I call all of my power and my energy back to me from people, places, past lifetimes, this lifetimes, throughout all realms of space and dimensions, and through the 4 directions. And I declare that my energetic boundaries are strong and protected. Now be mindful that when you light this, and even if you do like some sort of freezer incantation, to where you write down people's names on bay leaves and you poke it 9 times. You could poke it 9 times or 5 times, okay? As long as it's an odd number and it is a significant number of change, which is 5. 5 represents changes, and the 9s can represent change, but they also represent manifestation. The 999 frequency. So I've seen people try to freeze their enemies to where they'll, write their names of the enemies on the bay leaves, and then prick it with like a thumbtack or like a needle, and then put water in the bag and then freeze it. That also makes energy vampires, more susceptible to attacking you, okay? I've seen witches use like just all types of spells. I've had these types of spells casted and projected onto me, okay? I'm a 144. I'm a divine feminine. I'm a shamaness. I'm a tantric kundalini awakening goddess. I'm a starseed. Okay, I'm a spiritual warrior. I'm a medicine woman, which falls under shamaness. And this runs in my bloodline, as well as I've had many past lifetimes on different, you know, star-seeded planets, as well as different countries in on Earth. Okay, so I mean, my soul's evolved. I've been around, like, you know, planetarily, and just I know how energy works. You know, I was a seer in a past life in India. I was a princess in 3 past lives, twice in France, one in England, you know, in where some of my other roots are from, Wales, England. I struggled really bad in Africa in a past life. I was, um, you know, like Pocahontas, very much tribal Native American past life. I've also had starseed roots to Sirius, the Pleiades, Orion. Um, and so I know about energetic healing, shamanism. I know how to create oils, tinctures, elixirs, create my own candles. I know how to do this work. I don't need cards to read. When I was like a baby practitioner and I started many, many, many years ago, you know, and you dabble in stuff, I mean, it's a tool and it can help you, just like all of these things can help you. But I've learned that if you don't distance yourself from this person physically, if you don't leave, or if you don't do all of these things to, you know, implicate these things into your practice, they will only go harder and stronger. So you really have to declare out to the universe, I am a god, I am a goddess. I call all of my power and my energy back to me from all people, places, circumstances, past lives, this life, realms of time, dimensions, and throughout all the 4 directions and past lifetimes back to me, you know. And then you could say an incantation, like I had someone be like, you have to say 3 times 3 times 3 as I will it, so mote it be. But it's whatever you want to end it with, you have to declare to the universe, okay? And to out loud, okay? And a lot of people, they have those fighter spirits, or they will be the opposite starseed realm of you. So like, if, you know, my realm is Lemuria, Atlantis, the Pleiades, Orion's belt, boom, it's like a reptilian or an alpha draconian, which is the opposite starseed realm, you know. And then just mortals who have not awakened, who are not spiritually evolved at all, that just kind of float through life and like fly like kind of like a leaf in the wind, like, you know, or they just kind of just end up here, like they live life very shallow on the surface, or they're just not spiritually evolved, and it's not their fault. That's just, it's not their calling. Okay, they just will, those types of people, you know, you, the people who fight, okay, and who really want to plot on your downfall, I'm trying to awaken the mortals and awaken you to how like people can do you dirty and fight you, like in the workplace, and like plot on your own demise of your life and plot on your whole downfall. And people will do you dirty. I mean, they will be in your family, they will be your coworkers, you know, family coworkers that smile to your face every day, and then they would go back to, you know, whoever, and say this false narrative that they'll create, whether they have a personality disorder, whether they just don't like you, whether you have a talent that they lack, or whether you're just, you know, you live your life in an opposite way that they think you should, but they have no control over your life. And that's what this is about. So the archonic influence, the reptilians, all of this is about control, and the alpha draconians, and they want to control you, and they want to, you know, this is why the world is this way, because they act through the human emotions in the mind. That's why you have to keep your mind sharp and strong. And they prey on weaker individuals to hook them, to control them into working the 9 to 5, or blinding you from your power to hide what is really going on in, you know, behind the scenes. Whether it's a Freemason lodge and all of their plans, or the Bohemian Grove out in California, because, you know, everyone has motive and intention, right? And not everyone knows how. A lot of people know how to hide their lives very well and live double or triple or quadruple lives, which is snake energy. You know, we want to live through through our own truth and our authenticity. But those types of archons and those reptilians and those alphas and those alpha draconians, they will be very sneaky. They will, what they do, their agendas are, is they try to control or manipulate their situation to their advantage. So they will prey on your weaknesses, or they will ruin your life and be, doing these manipulative tactics, like someone going to your mother and brainwashing her, hooking her in her mind for years, and like mentally abusing her. And she might be very much in the Abrahamic concept of, that very shallow living, the Abrahamic mindset of, you have to do what you have to do to survive. She might be in survival mode, or, she's not spiritually awakened. She could be from the old school, and, she will, for whatever reason, if her mind is weak, she will partake in these attacks with these individuals that try to manipulate her. If she's, and if they're energy vampires and they just got her from their archonic hooks, and she'll attack you with them. Or if she's strong-minded, she will stand firm in her boundaries and be like, that's her life. Like, do not tell me this, and you're not going to manipulate me, and just get out of me, get out of my mind, and get out of my life, get out of my house. But unfortunately, a lot of people are very easily conned, because they don't have a backbone, or they live life through that Abrahamic belief system, which all the reptilians and the alpha draconians, and the leaders of greed, hatred, who want to control everything in the world with the 9 to 5 and blind you to your truth and blind you to your power. They want to have the whole world controlled under what you call a new world order. So in the new world order, it's these governments and these people in positions of powers, whether they can be, not all of them, but they can be, they're a lot in the government systems. They're a lot in, that's why they try to systemize you. They could be security guards. They could be attorneys, lawyers, doctors. They could be politicians, even principals at your school, guidance counselors, or reptilians and archons could even have an higher position in a family. And then there could be something that, like, the bottom of the barrel people, like the snakes in the grass, come along, who manipulate and con, and those energy vampires that suck your chi life force energy, and they will use their tongues to, like, lie and be shrewd and to really hook, like, other weak-minded people or archonic people who are already in that agenda. And then they'll band together, and then before you know it, it's like they'll be talking behind your back. And then this is how it hooks into your energetic field, okay? And these hooks will gather behind your head, your back of your shoulder blades, your neck, all down your spine, all down your chakra centers, and they'll gather. And if you're not careful to clear that, like, shake things away, yes, burn some sacred smoke to cleanse your environment, and to, chase it out of your just whole energetic environment, all of these energetic debris. And if you're not careful to cut, on a daily basis, especially if you're spiritually adept and gifted and you're more than an empath, like, the term empath is just used so loosely, like bipolar disorder, like, it's just misdiagnosed, or it's just overdiagnosed, and a lot of people with personality disorders go undiagnosed. It's like you can't win in this world. It's like, so you have to be very careful with who you spread and share your energy with, okay? So like I've talked about, and I'm just pulling these cords so they can just hook into someone. Like, you have to be careful with who you hear, like, who you merge with, who you listen to, and you have to protect your thoughts, because your mental is the strongest part, as well as guarding your energy. So I want to shake the rattle, because this will just chase all that negative energy that others project to you, and it will move the energy around, you know what I mean? And then if there's energy vampires, they need a God source or a light to hook into, because they were not born with the divine light. they were not born with any type of, that light. So they're going to hook into you, and they may not even seem like they're going to use you. Like, they may seem like they have it all together, but these are deeply flawed individuals inside. These are people who know how to mask things, and they will know how to con you. Like, they could have a painter job and act, have a work truck and act like, oh, everything's good, like, I'm Christian, hey, how are you, and act fake. You know what I'm saying? Or they could just, you know what I'm saying, like, offer you things or act like they're your friend, like they want to help you, but the whole time their motives, you know what I'm saying, could be, oh, like, eventually she's gonna pass away and I want her house, or, oh, I want to turn her daughter against her and I want to pit them apart. And then they will, like, systematically use their, like, snake tongues, to get into that person's head about you. And then before you know it, their false narratives of you will spread through energy and then through thought processes of other people that they tell this bullshit to. You know what I'm saying? And then before you know it, it's like you start to feel like, okay, first you're like, it creates confusion in you at first when it's new. And then when you see, like, certain things, like, sabotaged and taken away, like, people will plot on your whole demise and downfall. Like, if you see, like, you have a job interview and you don't get the job, or, you know what I'm saying? Or, and just say, like, you have a test, and then, like, you study, and then it's like, boom, like, all of a sudden you're like, I studied all night for, like, 3 nights in a row, and how the fuck did I fail? And this is how they do it, and this is all energy. So I'm a truth teller, and I ascend the masses of people, and I wake them up to see what really is going on, and they could vibe from these false narratives of you that they're holding on to from years ago that they don't know how to heal from or let go, and they want to be vindictive, or they just want to project negative and hatred energy and try to make your life hell. But then later, when, it all goes down and, like, everything that happens, all of this is not going to matter if you're spiritually evolved. But when, Goddess Mayat weighs that feather against your spirit, and your spirit is very, very heavy, you know what I mean? Like, or like, they just try to do certain things to try to make you angry. It's called reactive abuse, a lot of that as well. So let's talk about reactive abuse and how archonic influence can spread this. Okay, so people will, like, manipulate the energies around them, yes, but then they will just try to do things to ruin your endeavors that you're doing. Like, they will try to, like, be loud during an energetic session. Energy vampire. Try to, sabotage your boss against you. And we're just going to pull and blow these negative energies here. Or they will try to, use their sharp energies, because if you're energetic sensitive, you will feel, okay, their energies are very sharp, not strong, just sharp, like razor blades. Like, you can feel it, like, it's not a good energy. So it's good to cleanse on a daily basis. And, like, they will be, like, trying to destroy you and trying to mess you up so you can't succeed, so you can't go further than them, so you can look like the loser in their books, and so they can be like, see, she's a loser. Or, I've had people plot on my whole downfall, and I went to a plaza, and I had this archonic influence from my ex-brother-in-law literally permeate through, okay, my ex-twin flame, my mother, my ex-mother-in-law, my twin flame's mom, and, like, I had so many people plotting on me, and I'm still breathing, I'm still alive. So you have to just come back stronger, and they will keep doing this, you know what I mean, because that is their, bad persona. That is their soul. Their souls may be gray or black. Their auras may, be very dirty. They don't energetically cleanse. They hate you. They hold on to the past, and then they try to fucking, like, externalize and project that energy out into the masses, and you're over here living your life and you're growing and evolving, but they can't let it go. So they'll try to plot on your downfall. They'll still try to, like, hook into people that, are supposed to love and care for you, and turn them against you, and then they'll do this through masses of people. So you really have to be conscious of who you keep in your energetic field. So, you know, as well as cameras. So archons, they're everywhere. They're in the camera systems. You know, they, like right now, dealing with an energetic vampire who tries to have a telepathic tie to me and tries to influence energy with his thoughts very much and tries to hook in, but I'm too strong for it, so it doesn't work on me. So I'm going to kind of just cut these projections so they don't infect the video. So this is what I have to do every day. And they will try to come around and just be all in your business and try to listen to what, you know, your business is, and then they will go to that other person and try to, oh, she's crazy, she's got spiritual gifts and she's crazy and she's not working a 9 to 5 and she's not contributing and she's such a loser. And it's just like, okay, that is your life, that is your projection, and I disengage from it, I reject it, you know. And then they try to talk circles and bullshit people into seeing you as like this awful person, and then they'll try to like this one, he'll try to like tap on the walls and try to like mess my video up or like spit in my food, and it's just like, dude, it's not working anymore. Like, so you just kind of, you know, have to really distance yourself. So right now I am going to be, yeah, like his energy is like, oh, I want you to be quiet, I want you to stand down, I don't want you to burn sage in the house. It's my father's house though, he bought it. So, I mean, he doesn't have say over who burns what in my father's house, who built this for me and my mother and my brother. So, if I'm gonna burn something in the house, just like he smokes weed, I'm gonna burn it. You know, so I'm gonna do these cloves. Like, he just walked when I was shaking that rattle, and he just like kept tapping on all the walls, like just like a child, you know what I mean? And that's what they are. They're like children that never grow out of that child wound. Like, they have so many like childhood woundings, they don't know how to heal, and they don't know how to go to therapy, so they self-medicate. And then those same toxic people, they'll have toxic relationships, and then they'll like hide the truth from their significant other, and then it's just like ridiculous, and they spread that hatred through, you know. So we're just going to take my black tourmaline and my smoky quartz, and we're going to blow this out. And he's been trying to stop me for years from doing my purpose and my gifts. He's been trying to control me, and he can't. Like, literally, he has no energetic force or leverage to control my life anymore. You just got to be very strong in your energetic boundaries. And I'm going to get some more, I do want to do some foil tapping as well, but I'm not going to bow. And also, the message today that my goddesses want to share is, don't bow or play small for anyone. Just because someone does not like the way you're living your life, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? It's not their life to live. They can't make that decision for you. If you have a spiritual calling, you know what I mean, and you are called to be a reader on YouTube, read cards, or do Reiki, or cut cords, or be a musician, or be a painter, or whatever you're called to do, this is your life. You are the god or the goddess to create it. So don't let negative people like negate your progress or get into the minds of others just because they're haters, and just because they don't have the light that you have, and because, you know, they're darkness and they have to live their life in the matrix and be miserable. Don't fucking allow it, because they will try so hard to project these awful narratives of you. And that's what I really want to talk about. Like, they will try so hard to get, and I know I've said this like 3 times already, but I need to stress this. They will try so hard to get others to see you in such bad views or bad ways. And some people will even videotape you. So like people will like pull up and videotape you, and they will be really sneaky. And then they'll like, you know, like when I was living in my car after all the attacks, I had this girl come from Walmart, and she was like videotaping me, and like it was my car house, and she would like pull up next to me, and then there was like 2 and then 3 and then 4, and they would pull up next to me and videotape me, and then they would show my personal life, that I would talk like, you know, my personal life to my boyfriend at the time, you know, and then they would plot on my demise, or they would go into the bathroom, and in the back bathroom at Walmart, in the very back, like you have to pass the book section, pass electronics, and it's back there by where like the team leads and all of them go. So basically, like there's a back bathroom there, and they will be just so derogatory. Like they will go and slam doors, and then like, this is what I mean, like targeted individuals. So like sometimes you could be very beautiful, and you could have a beautiful aura, beautiful energy, really strong shamaness, warrior, angel gifts. People attack me for these things, you know, and they'll target you. They'll target you because you're different, and they'll feel your strength of your aura, and they will try to take you down in groups. And these people will like go along with the crowds like the sheep, and they'll like make fun of you with them, but secretly those same people who partake in it actually like you, and they want to come forward, but then they're just like, oh, but see my crew, I'm gonna look so bad, so I can't. And they could be missing out on an opportunity of the lifetime, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you always have to be authentic. Like, you know, just because someone's getting bullied, don't partake in the bullying, and don't laugh at these people. These people probably have gotten attacked and have been targeted, or you don't know, they could be so targeted that they were going through something emotionally really bad at the time, or going through a spiritual warfare fight, and they're trying to make it through the trenches. And like, how would you feel if you know, you had such, you know, like a profound purpose, and you were getting targeted, and it's not fun. So don't gang up on people, and don't have those bad like ulterior motives and try to plot on their demise and their downfall. I've had, you know, my own family, what's it called? My sister married a very bad drug addict, and they were actually doing drugs together. And I've had, you know, them plot on my downfall, and try to get my children like to live out of this house, and it's my father's house. And it's just like, you know, they try so hard to control my mother and see her the way that they, you know, see her, because they knew when I was a little girl, because I was the youngest, my sister and me are 10 years apart, so they knew that I did not welcome him into the family because I saw this. And then when she was pregnant with her first or her second baby, because she aborted the first one, I felt the energy and how bad the energy was, and I was just like, okay. And honestly, it's just like this archonic influence. And the father, like, you know, who's a very bad drug addict, he is a con man. Like, I mean, he like completely lies and tells people that he believes in Jesus Christ, but he is like so dark. He is so dark. And like, I felt that darkness when he came in, and like, it's like a mask. Like, he lives a completely double life, and like, he knows how to use power of the tongue and be shrewd and manipulate people to his advantage. And then he will relationship jump and just tell people all this bullshit, and like, just the manipulation. And unfortunately, there's negative energy manipulators and sweet talkers out there, and he literally like came from the slums and like archoned his way into the family and hooked his way to where now like his sons, who are 25 and 28, think that they could run my parents' house and control my mother's mind. And it's not even like that. So I mean, we all have our own battles that we walk through. We just cannot allow the influences of others to project into us. So now I want to get into the session, and I really want to just pull, cut, tap, and I want to burn more herbs while I do this, because it's such a strong hatred, you know, and their hatred has permeated through like the minds of people in my past inner circles, to where I had to cut the cords from my twin flame, you know, because all of these people got together and they literally formed like secular witchcraft, and they kept talking down on my name, and this really happens. And so now we're going to cleanse with this, and we are going to return it. we're going to return this like archonic energy and get it out of our direct environment, because I'm not going to hold on to it anymore. So I have some white sage here, some yerba santa, as well as some lemon verbena to return. And then the cloves are for protection, so this is the yerba santa. This is very good. It's very strong. And then I have the cloves here. So with the intention of releasing what no longer serves, yes, but cutting the cords and removing and rejecting. So I reject any power of the tongue spells. I reject any false projections from my enemies and from archons and reptilians and alpha draconians, and I reject their cord to my energetic boundary, and I reject their cords to my life force. I reject their cord to trying to control my life. I reject their spells, curses, hexes, their jinxes, their power of the tongue, energy spells. I reject their false narratives of me. I reject their archonic influence of me, and I return it 3 times 3 times 3. And maybe, something will happen in their lives to where they will stop being so hateful. They'll stop throwing baneful magic. They'll stop their monitoring spirits energy. So when you have a monitoring spirit energy, it's these archons, like these lizards who are reptilians or alpha draconians, and they're in like places of positions of power, or like the hierarchy, and they will monitor your life and they'll try to control you. And they'll be like, okay, no, you need to do a 9 to 5. No, you need to do this. You need to do that. Like, they won't accept that you're a healer. They won't accept your alternative lifestyle of being a free spirit and, using acupuncture or essential oils. And they'll be very like, oh no, she needs to do this, you need to do that. And they're just so systematic, and they're so rigid, and they're so anal, and you're just like, get the fuck away from me, like, this is my life, you know what I mean? Like, bye. Like, you take your negative energy and you can shove it up your ass. Like, literally, you could take your 9 to 5 matrix bullshit and you could work the 9 to 5 and shove that up your ass. I'm literally done. So like, right now, a lot of people are coming into their power. A lot of shamanesses, a lot of gods and goddesses, we're awakening to our inner truth and our power, and we're awakening to what's really going on around us, okay? And all of that old, nasty, murky energy of yesterday's world, it's dissipating, okay? And we're coming into our powers, and, if you have people plotting on your demise, I just want you to know that you're not alone. You can call on your spirit guides. You can call on your spirit animals. You can call on, the archons will just be like, pray to God. You can pray to God all you want. That does not mean, okay, that you're the Abrahamic Christian God's child. If you are not from that realm, that God will not help you. Okay, so like there's different gods and goddesses. There are different gods and goddesses, different deities. I know, because I'm a chosen one. I've been chosen by many, many, many deities, starting with Inanna and Goddess Athena, and Goddess Lilith and Goddess Aphrodite, Goddess Persephone, and so on and so forth. I've had stages of my spirituality to where, like, at first, the mermaid from Pleiades, as well as the Lemurian Atlantean with mermaid friends from Lemuria and Atlantis and Orion. You know what I mean? I've had medicine woman shaman gifts. I've had, the Venusian Fae on Venus with the fairy realm. And the archons will be like, oh, that's fantasy. You live in this fantasy world. And then they have these, attractions at like Universal and Disney. But no, where does it come from? It's because it's very real on the other side of the realms, on the other side of the veils. It's their own realms, I mean. So it's just on another side of the veil. And there are fairy life on Venus, and there is, reptilians in, their own reptilian, and alpha draconians on their own starseed races, and, there are mermaids on Mintaka, and there are cosmic lions, Pegasus ponies on Pegasus, and cosmic lions in Pegasus, as well as Lyra, the cat energy starseeds. there are UFOs and, extraterrestrial beings like Andromeda and Sirius, Blue Ray starseeds, etc., etc., etc. And they exist. They're just not directly in our realm because the Archon reptilians who are incarnated as humans right now um, are hiding those agendas, okay? And they're keeping everything carefully under wraps. And they're controlling mankind with 9 to 5s, which is the Matrix, or Christian religions, like Abrahamic religions. And they're trying to keep everything under control in their box and trying to dim you from your power and keep you from speaking your truth and trying to get you to go with the masses of sheep. And this is why so many people develop like addictions and, just all types of negative energy constructs because they're so stressed out. They don't realize that in their day-to-day life, they're not working from their solar plexus chakras, to work on their own talents and gifts and spread light and truth. Because, the Christian God was very much like, I am a jealous God. You shall not have any other gods but me. And it's just like, this is the thing. A lot of Christians are very detrimental because they are very archonic mindset, yes, but they're jealous. And then that jealousy, breeds hatred. And then that hatred breeds like groups like attacking you and greed and money, and just, it's like, yes, we need money, it's the currency of the world, but don't just operate with money. Like, if you've been scarred and you can't open your heart up, then you're going to be operating from just ego, like, oh, well, that person hurt me and all the women are the same, and you need to heal this. Okay, so we're going to focus now on pulling and cutting. So I'm seeing these cords and they're very murky. And they're like grayish, like sludge, like you just wanna. And that's what the Archons do. So the Archonic agenda will very much have sludge energy, and like their auras will be very dirty, very murky, very muddy, like grayish, tints of black. Sometimes they are gray-black, the realm of the shadows. And like the more like darker spirits, like the shadow people, so like spirit attachments, okay? So you could be born with spirit attachments, you know what I mean? And these spirit attachments, if you're not aware, it could end up wrecking your whole life, being the downfall at the end of your life, or wrecking the lives of people around you. So you have to really be conscious of, okay, do I have a spirit attachment? Do I need to cut the cord? Am I acting from loving peace today? Or am I acting from hate? Am I acting from my anger? Am I acting from, you know what I mean? You have to really decide for yourself, like, am I going to hang on to this and be bitter? Am I going to be a vengeful person forever? Am I going to keep doing these bad things? Because I'm telling you, that karma, when it hits, and it will hit, and it usually hits kind of in like towards like the end, like when you're older of your life, it always goes back around. So like whatever you breed will breed back to you, and it's just like what comes around goes around. So like whatever you project to others shall come back to you. And this is just like the law of dharma, not even karma. So like you could live a life as a king, okay? You could live a life as a princess, but you could treat your peasants and your, you know what I mean? Not your peasants, but your servants like absolute shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you could live a whole life doing that. And then it's like in your next life, it's like good luck in your next life because, that karma. You could be a kid in Malaysia walking 5 to 7 or 10 miles to school in the hot sun, and your parents be struggling, and you have so many brothers and sisters and you're in the heat and you don't have enough food. It's like you really need to watch out like what you project on people. So that karma, it hits and it's real. So I'm going to take my smoky quartz, my black tourmaline, and I'm going to suck these cords out. And let's talk about reactive abuse, okay? So people will try to get underneath your skin and press your buttons to where you try to be calm and you try to play it like, very tranquil, and then all of a sudden, boom, one day you just pent up and so like this is called goddess rage or god rage. And the archons like to bring that out of us. So what you have to do is you have to do this. And then, like, if you deal with like very vile people, like underhanded snake in the grass energy, like the bottom of the barrel like energy, these people will do things to your physical things. Like they will spit in your food in the fridge, or they will, they'll move stuff around, or they'll steal your stuff, or they'll key your car, or I mean, there's really nasty energy, like really nasty snake in the grass, just like slime ball people out there, like trash. And it's just like, okay, so in this life, if you get off on doing that to someone, good luck at the end of your life in this life, as well as like the next, like when you're 30 and 40, shit tends to hit you there and it gets real. And then in your next life, forget it. If you don't learn from all of this and you don't change, shit's about to get real quick. So let's just pull these archonic projections and these attacks now out and cut and slice all of this away, because it was really weighing heavy on my energy to spread this light and truth. I was getting fucking, triggered. They'll know your triggers, and then they will, to where you explode your goddess rage on them and you will scream, okay, or your god rage on them, and they know exactly how to push your buttons. But you cannot like let this, you can't let this get to you. Like, you just can't. There's a bee out here, and it smells the yerba santa and it wants to come in. It likes the yerba santa. And sometimes people could send their spirit animals to try to attack you, so I'm gonna kind of shut this window. Yeah, there's so much that I want to talk to you about, you guys. So as we burn and as we cleanse, and also I want to talk about monitoring spirits. So monitoring spirits will be in those archonic, like reptilian beings, to where they will just always, and those energy vampires, they will suck your chi life force energy from you, to the point, and I'm going to put some rosemary on here, to the point where they will sit there and monitor your life and know every part of you, so they could use this information against you to pull others in and attack you in groups, as well as use it against you later in fights, to try to diminish your power and diminish your the way you view yourself. So your solar plexus, which is your inner power, that's your vessel. So I want you to state, I am healed. I reclaim my energy across all realms, dimensions, timelines, from this realm, this life, past lives, throughout the 4 directions. And so it is, or so mote it be, whatever you want to affirm. I am healed. I am protected. My energetic boundaries are fortified. I am protected. No, I destroy and reject any line of energy that archons or narcissistic abusers or reptilians or draconians or my enemies try to send me. I reject their thought forms. I reject their obsessions. I reject them, their attacks. I reject their delusions and their narratives of me. You want to see me as the villain in your story? Fine. You want to see me as an angel in your story? Fine. I don't care. I reject your cord of energy. I reject your thoughts. I reject any hexes, curses, thought spells, any type of monitoring spirit energies. I reject all of those hooks. And so it is, So, I mean, I've had people hate on my gifts so bad and not want me to stand in my power and my truth and my light that they tried to take everything away from me, but they couldn't take my life. I'm still breathing. So these are really good. These are smoky amethyst. So that bee went away, so I'm going to just... These are smoky amethyst, to where these will just take those projections right out. So monitoring spirits too, they could be very archonic. Like, people will get obsessed with, like, security cam footage, or just camera footage, hidden cameras, and that's very archonic. It's not okay to spy on someone's life. My baby's father, he put a camera above my bed. I was being targeted for a very long time, like, and a lot of it was because of my gifts, because I knew too much about others. So then they were like, fine, like, I'm just gonna know too much about her. And then they started these like little energetic attachments to where like they would watch my every move, and then they would try to put it on blast to people. Like, I was targeted in a plaza, I was targeted in a Walmart. I was targeted by the security guards in the Walmart. I was targeted by female coaches and floor associates in a Walmart. They tried to paint me out to be someone I wasn't. Then they would push my buttons, throw cups in my car while I was sleeping, put powders in my car, burn my skin in my sleep because I'm a deep sleeper, and burn my breasts and my skin, and put powders like all in my shoes and stuff like this. And and then they would videotape me after they did all of this to me, and to where I was like raging because at the time I didn't know what was going on. I was like, it makes you confused, and it makes you like on edge, and it makes you very defensive. So then what they do is they set you up so you rage, so you look like this bad, awful, abusive person, but that was just their abuse on you. It's called reactive abuse. So that's like a huge form of archonic abuse and archonic control. So we're going to get this out. I've even had my sister just do it the other day. She let her son's chihuahua bark. She came back, and she was monitoring me to where she was listening to me, which she has no right to like listen to me. She needs to mind her business and fucking focus on her own goddamn life. You know what I mean? And it's like invasions of privacy. It's like they'll intrude off your energy and suck your chi life force energy. And then she like left the dog in the cage, like on purpose, so it would just bark to try to sabotage my video, to where like I ended up unleashing goddess rage on her, and she did it on purpose. And then right after we both goddess raged on each other, then she denied it and lied. Oh no, I don't have the key, I can't get in his room. And then all of a sudden after that, before he even came back from work, she let the dog out. So it was like she was lying the whole time. It was a plot. It was to try to get me to react, to try to make me look bad, to get this energy, because they feed off of that negative energy. They don't only feed off your chi life force energy and your sadness, but they feed off of that energetic drain. So like they will drain you. So if they're sadistic energy vampires, they will feed off of your upset. They will feed off of your confusion. They will feed off your fear. They will feed on you. And nobody has the right to feed on you. Okay? So I'm going to open this window, and I'm going to state again. You have to declare. I am not going to feed my energy to anyone. My energetic boundaries, I declare, are unpermeable. They are unpenetratable. You cannot penetrate through my auric boundaries. My aura is strong, okay? You have to declare this. Unfuckwithable. There you go. So I'm goddess, I'm God. My energetic boundaries are fortified. I am protected. My energetic boundaries are unfuckwithable. Even if you have to say stuff like that. Because the more that they see that they bother you and they get reactions out of you, the more they're going to keep coming harder. And they're very sick and sadistic like that. And then if they see that you fall or you get your, like hurt in some way, they prey off that. And then they suck your energy with that energy vampire cord. And they're sadistic, and they will enjoy seeing you and your defeats in life. They'll enjoy your suffrages, and then the whole time they'll be praying behind your back, talking shit to their brother, their dad, your mom, your uncle, your grandpa, whoever. And they'll just be hooking these people into their false narratives of you. This is why we have to be careful, be mindful to clear this. Because if we're not careful, before you know it, these projections can permeate through your chakra systems, yes, your energetic systems, and they could start giving you, spine problems, or they could go, into your lungs, and cancel clear, delete that. But they like to be behind, they like to be really behind your back. It's like And I also want to, yes, shake the energies out and move that archonic influence around, but it's like a knife behind your back. It's like the stabbing behind your back. So like all this energy collects in your back, and you want to be, and I just kind of want to go to your back a little bit and just kind of, okay, I just, above your head. So it's important to clear this, and then let's clear and decalcify this right here, because a lot of inclusions, especially if it's an energy vampire attack, it will you know, it'll get hooked right here in your third eye area, and then it'll make you think things. It'll make you feel like you're confused, like, why is this person acting like this? Because they don't have your best interests at heart, because they don't really like you. And I hate to be that person, but if somebody's sitting there hurting you constantly, it's like you're a backup plan to them, or you don't mean as much as, like, you know, you thought you did, or you know what I mean? They're not returning that same energy that you're giving, and they're just taking, and then they're like making it seem like it's all your fault. It's such gaslighting, you know? And it's just so abusive and underhanded. And we don't need that sneaky snake in the grass energy in our lives. So we're going to pull all of this shit out, and we're going to blow it out the window. I see this a lot everywhere. I see this a lot. And then I see it, though, a lot with, like, workers in government agencies, like people who like work outside or work around like government plants, like, and I want to make a new pot of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new so I sprinkled some tarragon on the bottom, and I'm also going to sprinkle some turmeric around. Okay. And a teeny bit of salt for protection. I'm going to do pink Himalayan today. I kind of like covered the turmeric, but I don't know if you could like really see this, but so we're going to be declaring energetic boundaries and protection, okay? And we're going to be chasing negative energies from our haters away, because it's really, really hateful. So once again, we're going to take some Herba Santa. I have a bunch in this bag here, really good. And then we're going to put some white sage in the middle. I have a teeny bit left that I found, which is a divine gift. And then we're going to put some lemon verbena kind of in between the turmeric and the salt, because that's going to be sending it back. So I did a blend of Herba Santa in the middle. Okay, first it's laying on a bed of tarragon. Okay, and I have to get the clove and the cinnamon stick. So the clove is to protect, and the cinnamon is to, and intentions are everything, but they also carry their own properties. Cloves for protection, as well as a star anise kind of bring the sweetness back in. Yeah, I've had so many people like try to hook into me and my energy because I'm, you know, a highly sensitive person, which is not a weakness. I have many spiritual gifts, and they confuse it for a weakness, or they misconstrue my softness for weakness, and it's not. It's just spirit. I have a lot of spiritual gifts and a lot of feminine energy. And then they try to press on me and take from me and take me. And when I don't give in and I declare my boundaries and they feel that, they get so defensive. And then it's like they bring out a goddess rage, or they'll try to just push, push, push to get a reaction because I have a strong aura like that. The cinnamon stick, and as well as the bay leaf. Okay, so we're going to use the bay leaf to cleanse, and then we're going to use a teeny cinnamon stick, bay leaf, and then our blend. So this is what it looks like. Can't really tilt it because that's the star anise. The orange you see is the turmeric, the pink Himalayan sea salt for protection, the cloves for protection, the yerba santa to cleanse and purify, as well as the white sage. The energies, the curses, hexes, and jinxes out the window, out from our lives, as well as the bay leaf. And then we are also going to, and then the big guy here, which is the lemon verbena, to like reverse it off of us and kind of return it back like their own medicine. Because sometimes you can clear and you can clear and you can clear, but it won't be enough, and like they'll never learn their lesson. So we're gonna kind of get them this own medicine today. First, I'm going to use this. We are going to set the intention of I kill any negative vibes projected against my life or projected over my head, or I kill any negative energy, vampires, and what they've said about me. And then now we're going to just purify. We're going to just, I cancel, clear, delete all the negativity, all the hate vibes, all the targeting, all the bullying, all the spiritual psychic attacks, all the energetic vampires and their tethers. I cancel, clear, delete all of their lines of energy, their projections to my aura. I cancel, clear, delete, and I reject their energetic cord and tie to my aura to have access to my life, or have access to my energy and my aura and my chakras. I reject their archonic influences, and I reject their attacks. And then the clove for protection. I am protected. I declare my energetic boundaries. Excuse me, let me just get another one because this one's getting really hot. There we go. I reject the cords to any negative energy vampires. I reject what they think they're ruling over my life. I reject their tethers. I reject all of their nasty negativity projected at me, their attacks, any verbal attacks, any psychic intrusions, any psychic attacks. I reject this now, and I am protected. My energy is fortified. I will not let anyone siphon my energy. My energetic boundaries are clean and they're strong. I reject any curses, hexes, or jinxes sent to me. I am strong, I am powerful. I call my power back to me. I call all my power back to me from people, places, and things trying to siphon my energy. I am protected. My energetic boundaries are protected, I declare. Excuse me 1 second. I reject curses, hexes, and jinxes, and I return them to sender. I return to you what you did to me. I return all your projections to you. I return all your bullying, all your psychic attacks, all your attacks on my things, your attacks on my person. May it go back to you, and may you suffer the consequences of your actions over my life and what you've done. And I return it back. So, I mean, sometimes you gotta give them a taste of your own medicine. Their own medicine, I mean. Lemon verbena is very good for this. You know, and I got so bad to where, like, this dude thinks he could run my life so hard that he'll always be in the house. Like, he'll quit his job and he'll always be in the house. And, like, or he'll hook into someone and tell them things that's so false about me, and they'll start seeing it as he's saying it. He's a telepathic energy vampire, and he uses those types of, you know, telepathy to influence, as well as using his snake tongue. And he'll do this thing with his throat where he's completely like reptilian, alpha draconian, and he will try to like control my life through the eyes of others, and then he'll like do stuff to my things in the fridge, to the point where I'll have to walk to the store every day. And you know, they really like try to minimize my power. They try to get my kids out of the house. They ruined my cars, and I'm talking about my fucking mother, my sister, and her fucking older sons. And it's all because of, she married this crackhead dude who just like ruined the family. And they're all just like fucking wicked as fuck. Like, it's not even like God versus the devil. This is like something far like starseed, like reptilian, draconian versus like, you know, Andromedans or Lemurians or Mintakans. Starseed. It's like starseed. That's why I went out to Destination Parkway. To leave, and also the Walk-in Soul came into this body. So if you haven't seen that, I would like to invite you to watch that video. And I'm gonna remake this video without them trying to fuck with me, because they're about to, I'm about to come into divine justice, and they're about to really see, like, they're about to learn the hard way, and they're about to get their asses handed to them on a platter, because I'm returning their energy to them, and there's nothing that they're going to be able to do about it this time. I've been fighting in my soul for a very long time, and I refuse to bow. I refuse to enter in the 9-to-5 matrix, and to, you know, work for Uncle Sam's corporations, and to be controlled, and to, you know, be a sheep like the rest. I'm not like that. I cannot run with the sheep. I can't be a like a wolf in sheep's clothing, or whatever they call that. I just can't. I can't do that. So I hope that you liked the session, you guys. I know it was like a really long, heavy session, but I also want to do the cinnamon stick. I just really hope that, you know, you got a lot of enlightenment as well as truth out of this, and you're really like starting to awaken. And some people just know they're innately evil, like he knows. Excuse me. Cinnamon stick. Namaste.